do, everybody? Welcome to Movie Talk, where we're going to be talking about, you guessed it, movies. Or, at least in this case, we're talking about the trailer. And, well, we'll actually begin by talking about... How about we do the Star Wars movie trailer?
Yeah, definitely. That was a trailer that I was most excited about. When I saw that trailer, I already watched it like 6 times already. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome trailer.
Yeah. Now, they're going back, like you can tell by watching the trailer, they're going back to this, 70s Star Wars. Like, they're using practical effects. They're also using some CG, but, I mean,
yeah.
it looks like a way more grounded...
Yeah, they're using the CG, but with J.J. Abrams, he wanted to go back to the Star Wars that he grew up on, that we all know and love, which is the Star Wars with the oh, don't mind him, he's just playing around with the lights.
Yeah.
He wants to do CGI as very little as possible. But I think what really really kicks it off is that visually it looks like the original Star Wars trilogy, where it's all the way visually it looks. Of course it's gonna be brighter and polished because it's gonna be using the higher definition and all that, but it's still using the same kind of, you're gonna get the same feel as if you're watching the original one.
Yeah. Now, what I'm liking about it, we can start by, let's go back really quick to the prequel.
Back to the prequels.
Those had really good trailers as well.
Yes.
But it was a time when they were still playing around with CG a lot, and it looked exciting. It got people pumped for the movie. Then when they actually showed the movie, it was why? Too
why
CG.
God? Why George? Why damn you, George? Why? I think the cool thing was about Episode 1 though, did have a puppet Yoda. Everything else was CGI. Yoda was still a puppet. And then George, for some reason, just lost his damn mind and said, let's just go CGI Yoda in Episode 2 and 3.
Yeah.
What?
I mean, I'm okay with that, but no, if you've got the opportunity to use...
practical.
Yeah, like, let's keep things consistent. And... they just were experimenting at the time way too much with CG. And as we all remember, all of you remember, that they were also going back and touching up things in the original movies with CG. They were making this whole scene in the bar with putting in a little other monsters here and there in CG, and then they had a whole scene with like a CG singer or something like that. I don't remember entirely, but it was just a whole bunch of CG.
Yeah, no, I know George Lucas said that he wanted to do that kind of thing when it first came out, but he couldn't do it because he was limited to the practical. He was limited to what he had back then. Yes, you were limited, but if you think about it, the limitations that held you back is what made the movie great. The lack of the special effects, the practical effects that you did to it, that's what made the movie amazing. Now, the only things that I did not mind when he did his special editions was the touching up of the space cruiser so you can't see through it as much, the adding on of extra stormtroopers and the dewbacks all up on the mountain ridges and stuff like that, moving around. That I didn't mind as much because that added more to what he was trying to do, and I understand. Little touches like that I don't care about. It added to it. The things is adding to it just to add into it, and it was kind of like annoying. What really made me mad the changing of Han Solo's shooting scene. I grew up with Han Solo shooting first. He will always have shot first.
Yes, I bet you have.
Another thing that they changed was the whole Ewoks. Now they can blink. Ewoks. I grew up. Ewoks didn't blink. They stared at you with those dead doll eyes.
They had self-moisturizing eyeballs.
Yeah.
Now, all right. So we're here to talk about the actual trailer. Now we see at first, or we hear, who is it? I think Circus. He's the voice.
I don't know who was talking in the background.
I think his name is Andrew Serkis.
Andy Serkis.
Yeah, Andy Serkis.
Y'all might know him as Gollum, or Smeagol, or you might know him now as Caesar, or as the main villain in the Heavenly Sword video game, or King Kong, or maybe the boss in 13 going on 30. Yes, this guy is many talents, but he is the king of motion capture. So with Andy Serkis, he's all over the place. You expect a lot more. Now it opens up with "Can you feel it?"
Yeah.
And I can feel it. I
saw
that song and I'm like, oh, I feel it. I can feel it.
Can you smell it?
I wasn't able to smell it.
I just let one go right now.
Jesus, is that what that was?
No. Can you feel it? And we are taken to a scene, a desert,
and it looks like Tatooine to me.
It is definitely Tatooine.
That's where all the evil starts.
Yeah, I mean,
instead of blowing up Alderaan, they should just blow up Tatooine.
Seriously, like.
That's where the trouble started. They got Anakin. Trouble started there. You go back again. You find Luke. More trouble follows after that.
Yeah.
Now again, you have a stormtrooper. Now this it's not.
You could also reverse it, and that's where hope starts.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, actually, that's what. Yeah. Well, it is hope when they find Luke, but still, it's like whenever you go to Tatooine, there's either trouble or something. Something on Tatooine there. There's something the Tatooine want to tell you, folks. Adventure find you there.
Now we're taken to a stormtrooper that pops up. John Boyega.
Yes.
He is
look it! Somebody else who knows who that is.
Yeah. I've seen Attack the Block. I was
check that movie out.
Yeah. Oh, it was really awesome.
Yes.
So there's a lot of people not liking it, liking it. That we've got a black stormtrooper.
Yeah. He was receiving a lot of hate about that, and he responded back very smartly. Now, my comment to that is, John, I don't care what character you're playing. It's just fucking awesome. I don't care if black stormtrooper, Asian stormtrooper, because you know what?
I mean, I don't think, or maybe there are. I don't know. I don't think the people that are against John Boyega being a stormtrooper, or sorry, just a black stormtrooper. I don't think they're being out there like actually trying to be racist or being like. But there's like they're not accustomed because there's this whole the whole clone thing.
Okay, now if you want to go down now, see, now we're touching into my nerd area. So now I'm gonna just open up my nerd area and just go ape shit on you guys out there right now. I'm sorry, but if your feelings get hurt, go cry somewhere else because I don't care. One, the clones are only in the Clone Wars. The clones did not continue on after that. They're dead and gone. Now the stormtroopers that are in episodes 4, 5, and 6 are not clones. They're different people.
Yeah.
The clones are only in the Clone Wars, folks. One person looking the exact same way. Now the guy that played him is not black or white, but he's kind of in between. Now it doesn't really matter because the clones are dead and gone. There's no clones anymore. Now it's just regular stormtroopers. They don't specify if the stormtroopers are white, black, Asian. They don't specify. It doesn't matter what they look like underneath. They're stormtroopers.
Yeah.
They fight for whoever's paying them. That's it.
Yeah.
They're hardcore. They're like the military. And in the military, is there any color in the military?
Not
anymore.
No.
Not anymore.
Now,
not even sex.
What do you call it? Back then, like Luke Skywalker, he was gonna join with the Empire. Like he was gonna grow up. He was gonna enlist. And it was just the thing to do.
No, you wanted to enlist with the rebels.
Oh, with the rebels?
Yes.
Oh, then I have no idea what I'm talking about. But I mean, there are, like, it doesn't matter. It's essentially just a military, and you can have whoever in the military. Like, that doesn't matter in terms of race. However...
And nobody lost their mind when Luke and Han were dressed up as stormtroopers.
Yeah.
It's because they're white?
Yeah, I mean, well, yeah, that...
But we already know, but, like in the trailer, you say me like...
The thing is, I feel like there's, like, maybe... I also feel like didn't start out as a stormtrooper because
Yeah.
he's when we see him,
He wakes up panicked and scared.
Yeah,
and I
exactly.
I believe that he's actually, hiding out in, he's undercover. I believe he's undercover and he's doing something and he woke up in a bad situation.
Or maybe he was a stormtrooper and
Realized some bad shit.
Yeah, you don't see.
We don't know
Yeah, so we only see
the aftermath of what's going on that happened.
well, we see the desert going, far one direction. We don't see what's going on the opposite direction.
Yeah.
So maybe his squad mates, his, whatever. There's a whole bunch of explosions happening on this side of the camera.
Yeah.
Or that side of the camera.
Yeah.
And maybe he's the lone survivor. He is scared. He is running away.
He's scared out of his mind.
Yeah.
Then we got the new type of. It's a new type of speeder bike.
Oh yeah.
But it's not new to. It's new to us. But of course, it looks like a rundown piece of crap in the movie, which is perfect because Tatooine is not known for its extravagant lifestyle.
Yeah, and I feel like what that looks like to me is one of the engines on a pod racer.
Yes.
Modified.
So. If you watch the trailer again, it looks like there's a scene where they showed the asteroid droid that looks like a soccer ball with R2's head on it. Now, most of you guys are going, that's R2. That is not R2-D2. That is an R2 model. It's not Series D2. Oh, did I just go there? Yes, I did.
Yeah, you did.
It's an R2 series, not the D2 model. So it's a different thing. And yes, it might kind of sound like R2, but that's because most of the R2 series kind of sound the same. They kind of sound racist there too, but but behind them it looks like old parts of pod racers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That you see that in the background.
Yeah. So,
but when you see the girl, which it could be
a Jedi, a relative to Luke. Something.
Well, it could be what I was thinking is Leia and Han's daughter.
Yeah.
Could be. We'll see. Yeah. I don't know. You tell us.
Yeah.
Anyway. And she drives off or rides off into the sunset. You see some architecture in the background that is reminiscent to some old concept drawings from the original movie. So I'm really excited about this particular Star Wars because they're going back to what the original. Yeah, exactly.
And pull up some of the concept art. I heard that, and I was seeing some stuff in there, and I was like, you know what, that's pretty awesome. Pull some of that old stuff. Maybe to pull out some of the old McQuarrie, artwork as well, and get some of his concept art, which is, I'm like, you know what, damn it, do it. I'm all for it. I'm nerding out when I'm reading this. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And with J.J. Abrams being a Star Wars fan himself, so I'm all for it. And then seeing a picture of Kevin Smith with tears in his eyes and giving this trailer a thumbs up, it warms my heart because I know Kevin Smith is a big Star Wars fan himself. So
yeah.
If he saw the trailer and he was there and he saw some good things and he says this is gonna be some good stuff, I believe Kevin Smith.
I've seen I've seen what's the director's name again?
J.J. Abrams.
J.J. Abrams,
Did
like
Star
what
Wars?
he did, Star Trek.
Star Trek, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to what, because you can tell that what he's doing with it, he's doing it out of passion.
And he's keeping the visual style too.
Yeah,
which is a plus because first of all, people are like, oh, he's gonna ruin Star Wars with all that lens flare. No, he's not. He used that lens flare for a particular visual style for Star Wars. That's gonna be a Star Wars visual style, and he's not gonna use in Star Wars. He's keeping Star Wars with the same visual style as the original, but with his take on it. So, get ready to see some of his take on it without the lens flare. I know he's going to hold back on that because that was the thing that he wanted to do just for Star Wars as well, and it worked for Star Wars. Yeah, it was kind of annoying, but you know what? Visually, it worked, and it was pretty amazing.
Yeah. So, we see this girl.
Yeah.
Right off into the sunset. What do we see then?
Then we see the what do we see next? You see.
Was it the dude walking?
It was the Sith. Yeah, it was the Sith Lord. Now, I'm saying this is Sith because most Siths wear the black robe.
Yeah.
And they're known for having the red lightsaber.
Yep.
Now, what was really awesome was when I was watching, I was like, oh, I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome!
Yeah. So,
I lost my mind. My jaw dropped out. My tongue was rolling out on the floor like.
One of my favorite games of all time is, my favorite game series of all time is The Legend of Zelda, and I really, really like just that kind of sword.
The old medieval sword with the hilts on it.
With the hilt. People are not liking the fact that it's probably impractical because when you're fighting with it and swords are crossing, it'll end up hitting the hilt and then cutting what shoots out the little lightsaber-y part. I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. It's got to come out from somewhere.
It's coming out from the side. So if you think about it, look, the lightsabers are made out of energy, right? It is the lightsaber is constructed by the Jedi themselves. They have to work and they construct the lightsabers themselves. They find the crystals that they need. They build the lightsabers with the Force, and they use the lightsaber. And with the lightsaber, if you see the battle with Grievous, he's fighting Grievous and he's hiding it. He's hitting the lightsaber, and then he slides the lightsaber right down to the bottom. And then he kind of just cuts off his hand. Now people are like, well, when the lightsaber hits with the lightsaber, doesn't it just lock and you can't slide it? Really? No, you can slide that lightsaber down and chop some of his fingers off.
Also, yeah.
Now with the hilt thing, people are like, well, if it's there, if you're hitting something, once your hand slapped, no, they're using the Force to hold on to it. They're not going to just my fingers.
Yeah, and we see that there's something different with this lightsaber. That it's a lot. It looks fiery. It looks like a flame.
It's not a balanced. So basically, like the first one, it's like concentrated energy beam, kind of looking thing, and then this side, it's not really concentrated. It's not being totally done. I'm gonna put a link below. It's gonna be to Stephen Colbert. He explains the whole thing. Now, I saw the video and I was laughing because a lot of people were talking negative about it, and he just basically just blew these people apart with his knowledge. And this guy's a big Tolkien nerd, and he's a big Star Wars nerd. So I'm gonna link that video below so you guys can take a look at what he says about that, because what he said was pretty awesome. I'm not gonna go into it because nobody can say it better than how he said it. So I'm gonna leave it to him.
All right, yeah, and well, I was also thinking like every lightsaber that we've seen to this point looks like a standard lightsaber. Other than
besides Darth Maul, where he had the duel. Yeah. That was my favorite lightsaber of all.
Freaking Ray Park, right?
Yeah,
he's Darth Maul. He did marvelous with that. But this particular one, since it was like a flame, we don't know exactly how that would work. So maybe it could be strong enough to cut through other lightsabers. We don't know. There's always the unknown. If you're freaking out online, cool, freak out, whatever, but until it's explained in the movie, I think we have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they know what they're doing.
Exactly.
Now, there are a few speculations on who this is.
Some people say it might be Luke.
Yeah.
Went to the dark side. Now, I'm going to squash most of these rumors. When Disney bought out Lucas and all of the rights to Star Wars, they bought out all of Lucas's rights to the properties of Star Wars. Now, Lucas had let his property out to people to build on the Star Wars mythology, and those rights were not bought by Disney because they're not owned by Lucas. He let people continue on to the stories and build on it. The story of him going to the dark side, the story of the twins and Chewbacca being killed off, that's not part of Lucas's thing. He had let that out. So do you squash that? That's kind of sad. Those are stories I would want to see, but those are, forget about it. But him going to the dark side, that'd be kind of crazy. Cloned Emperor Palpatine, not going to happen. Forget it. That's part of the books as well. But somebody says it might be one of the new Siths. So that's
yeah. I mean, I'm thinking it's just a new Sith. There's I forgot his name, but there is a guy that they're out there that has or basically they have a picture of what this guy looks like from a front, and he basically has just like a metal mask, and
I'm not seeing a picture. If I find it, it's gonna be in this video. Well,
yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
There's you still can't tell who it is. I doubt that it's Luke. I have a feeling that in this movie they might find Luke and he'll be reminiscent of what how they found Yoda. We know,
But from what I heard, from what I hear, the storyline is Luke is actually looking for other Jedi's, younglings to build up the Jedi Empire. Now the problem is that from the years that he's been looking, this is going to catch up to a part where he actually finds a young Jedi he finds Jedi's that he could train. But every time he finds a Jedi, they've been killed off. And rumor has it that there has been a council that has been in charge of, or bounty hunters that have been in charge of keeping the Sith from being killed off, like they have been killed off. And they are now trying to regain that, that trust with the Sith by killing off other Jedi that they find, and keep him from rebuilding again. So, and there's like a connection to the Sith Council. I guess there's somebody that's so connected with the dark side that's going around, but we don't know that. That's what I've heard. Those were the rumors going around, and this Luke is trying to find other Jedi's to rebuild the Jedi Order.
Yeah. Okay. I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
But
so
I mean,
that would be. I mean, that would be an amazing thing to see.
That makes sense. I want to be able to see.
But a year away.
the trilogies, although they're all different. So there's the prequel trilogy where you see Obi-Wan Kenobi training
Anakin,
and in the new one you see Obi-Wan training, or not the new one, but the original trilogy training Luke, and it could be in this one Luke training someone else.
Yeah.
I hear that he's not going to have as big of a role maybe in this one, so I'm hoping for the best. I'm hoping to see.
I hope he doesn't have an Obi-Wan Kenobi moment where he dies off in the first one. Like,
oh man, that would be.
You survived all that, and that's all. That's it. That's all we're gonna get. Come on.
Yeah, no, I want.
Don't do that to us. But another thing I liked was when they showed the stormtroopers were all different heights and everything like that. So that showed that they're not all gonna be the same. But the concept art for the Chrome Troopers, where the suits help deflect. I forgot what it is. Either deflect the blasters or the lightsaber. It's supposed to help them out with that.
Yeah, I've seen the other Star Wars movies that like what the suits look like, and I mean they look cheap back then because low budget. Nowadays I'm okay, or I'm glad actually that they keep it looking
similar, but yet like updated a little bit.
Yeah, but it still looks like plastic over rubber.
Yeah.
But I don't know what kind of protection that does, rather than a reflection protection. So I'm okay with that if that's the story behind it.
Now, for the last part of that trailer.
Oh wait! But we haven't talked about the X-wings.
Oh no, they're not X-wings. They're I forget what they're called. They're a different version of the X-wings.
But
they were pretty awesome to see them.
Yeah, I mean, I just.
Or the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, but we have like that. That's like the money shot
with
right
the new radar dish.
What? Well, because what I liked about, and I'm gonna go to the X-wings, or if you're calling it a different version of the X-wing.
Yeah, I forgot what they're called, but yeah, it's not X-wing model, but yeah, go ahead. Well, it's X-wing model, but different. Like, whatever. I'll type it in the bottom so you can see.
What I'm liking is it has like a moment like
Episode 4, like New Hope, when they shot them from inside the cockpit.
No, well, I mean,
that was my favorite part of the show. I'm like, that reminds me of the Episode 4 when they were shooting the Death Star. That's awesome. And then they show from the side.
Yeah, what I'm liking is, once again, you guys probably know, but I am a fan of Nintendo, and it kind of looks to me like Star Fox, like right in the beginning when you're into Corneria.
I guess I see where you're going with that.
You know, although people, of course, they like Rogue Squadron and everything, but I feel like there's a lot of stuff taken from there's a lot of inspiration from Star Wars in Star Fox.
Yeah, I was about to say, if you were to go inspiration from Star Wars, I was like, you can go to hell with that right there. But
no.
We know what came first on that one, right, guys? We do know.
But I just that kind of reminded me a little bit of that. That was for me.
Yeah.
But it looks cool because I just have a feeling of this movie, like, is gonna be big. Yeah. Like, there's going to be, and you know, feel free to use 3G, CG,
CG,
in these moments, but a lot like dogfights, and that's gonna be reminiscent of the original trilogy.
Yeah, and I think another thing I really like about the trailers when they showed the X-Wings flying above the water, kind of reminded me of the escape from Hoth when they were leaving Hoth and before they were getting killed off. Kind of reminded me of that. So there's like two scenes that kind of remind me of those first Episode 4 and Emperor Strikes Back, and I was like, yes.
Oh yeah, okay.
That shot was awesome.
See, the thing is, that was awesome, but at the same time, you're like,
you're like, oh yes, I'm ready. Damn it. Let's pop in the trilogy right now.
Yeah, and then how they played with the camera, the way that it's like upside down, and then you see the planet is above your head, and it's like, then it turns, and then you see the TIE fighters.
You're like,
it's
sweet
like,
baby Jesus.
Like this is exactly, like, you know, this is exactly what you want from Star Wars.
Yeah,
and like, you have to imagine, like, the Millennium Falcon is Han Solo's baby. So he is very likely the one piloting this.
Like a madman out of hell.
And he is probably saying something like, you know, very Han Solo-y. Like,
Han Solo-ish.
It's Han Solo-y. He is being Han Solo. He's probably there with Chewie. He's saying something
crazy, yeah.
Don't get cocky, kid. I don't know, but like, it's just that moment is gonna be. Like,
but I think the best part was after that was at the end you could hear I don't know why they had it in there, but you could hear the Darth Vader's breathing.
Oh,
for a brief moment you hear it, like. I'll put that scene in the video for you guys so you can hear it. Let me know what you thought. What that was. What is that? Darth Vader's breathing? Is it somebody else? Why was it there? Was it just a little nod saying, "Hey"?
I didn't hear that at all.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'll play that. I'll play that again for you guys, and then we'll see where you go. But leave a comment below. Hit that like button. Subscribe. You know, do all those fancy smash things that you could do. But yeah, until then, I'm Grim Reaper.
Yeah. Comment. Tell us what you think, because we're gonna be reading this, and I want to see what gets you guys excited for it.
Yeah.
If it gets you excited, if you hate it, let us know.
Yeah. I'll also put in a link below of this one channel that I saw where they watch the trailer. They have their reaction. I'll put that link below as well.
All right. So.
But yeah. Till then, I'm Grim Reaper.
I'm Tito.
And we'll be seeing you guys around for another movie talk. All right, guys. Bye.
With the